So we're waiting for John and Bubba to hop on. John Marshall and Bubba Bollier with Blue Ridge Ranch. We're interviewing them today about their sale, and it's obviously changed a little bit because of all the current conditions.
It has. They're going to have their sale 100% online next weekend, next Friday and Saturday. So the times of the sale will stay the same. It's just everything will be online. So it's something new and different for the Longhorn industry, but they're excited and I think it should work pretty good for them.
And we'll have to get confirmation from Bubba on this interview, but I'm assuming it's going to be a requirement that everyone have a drink in hand. And with Dale doing commentary and Bruce still auctioneering, I'm sure there'll be lots of occasions for heifer babies and visits to Dairy Queen and all the other reasons to take a drink, right?
I'm sure there will be. Should we see if they're ready to join us?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Molly.
And I'm Jamie, and this is our From the Pasture with Hired Hand podcast. As the owners of Hired Hand website software, we've been developing websites and creating internet marketing strategies for livestock breeders for the past 10 years.
The majority of our customers are involved in the breeding of registered animals, such as Texas Longhorns, Highland cattle, horses, and whitetail deer, where the pedigrees are very important. The From the Pasture with Hired Hand podcast examines many of the differences in raising pedigreed livestock for maximum profit. Join us and learn what we're covering today. In today's episode, we'll be talking with Bubba Bollier and John Marshall from Blue Ridge Ranch. They've been working together on the ranch for 12 years, which is also about how long the ranch has been in existence. So hi, Bubba and John, and thanks for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourselves?
About ourselves. Well, John, you first start? Yeah, it's a short story. We're very young. I was in the construction business for quite a while, and John hired me to build some fence, I guess, is the way it started. He bought the property in Lano, and it went from the fence to the barn to the house, and then the cows. And we've been together ever since.
Yeah, I just sit around and does all the work.
Say that again, John.
See, now I just sit around and he does all the work.
Nice.
So the date of the sale is next weekend, correct?
Yes, ma'am. 10th and the 11th. We're having a Friday sale starting, I believe, at 5 o'clock. Y'all know better than we do. We just take orders. Start the Friday sales at 5, and then the Saturday sale is going to be at 10.
Do you want to explain to everybody how the sale is gonna work? Since I know we're trying something new this year, everything's gonna be online because we can't get together.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of a long story. To sum it up, the way I understand it, we have a great bunch of people that's helping us to do this, to hopefully trailblaze this thing and be something different than anybody's ever seen or heard of. The way I understand it, we start to sell like normal. We've got Bruce McCarty and Dale Hunt and Lori McCarty. They're going to take care of all the auctioneering in Weatherford. They got a couple of ringmen. I'm not saying they're not really ringmen now, but they're going to be making phone calls for people that have cattle in the sale that may have a reserve. It's supposed to reserve. They're going to call the consigners and talk to them and convince them just like they would at a regular sale. And of course, y'all are going to handle all the internet stuff and do what y'all do. And we're hoping that this being a different thing, it might catch on. I mean, who knows when the next sale is going to be now after our sale, because it just got so crazy around here. Those toilet paper people have gone crazy on us. Yeah, and going to go off like a regular sale. We'll invoice everybody when it's all said and done. As far as the cattle pickup, some of these breeders already have their own people they call every time they buy a cow, and that's going to be normal for them. Just go pick the cows up. But for some of the new consigners, I think we've got 3 new consigners that's never consigned with us before. Probably never been in the sale before that I know of. They may have problems getting haulers, but we're going to reach out to Donnie Taylor, Wes Clark, Tessa, Millsap, or not Millsap no more, but Tessa and a few of them, and we'll work with them about the people bring their cattle to us. We'll hold them for them until somebody can pick them up. We're just trying to make it as smooth as possible, cut down on a lot of the freight. A lot of the haulers have called me from all over saying, just call us if you need something. I'm willing to pitch in. So I think as a family, this whole group's coming together. I'm hoping they're going to stay that way, and we don't piss them off. No, I think people have come together really good on this thing, and it being times that we've never had before.
So Jamie, Bubba, and I were talking, well, we were waiting for you and John to join us, and we were wondering if you were going to make it a requirement that all of the people watching online or bidding have a drink in their hand like they would if they're normally at the sale.
You mentioned that.
There's nothing to it. I mean,
You do mention that, yeah. John, I can't keep up with him anymore. He's a rebel. What we was thinking about earlier was maybe, people take their snapshot of their little groups while they're watching the auction and send it into y'all and us, and we can actually have a cover page on our sale for last year's sale, and just people take their own selfies, and that would be pretty neat if something we could do that, and just everybody enjoy their time and just.
We're gonna clean up the office here, sort of, and use all my decorations I had ready to put out, and everyone put out, and put them in the office. And
yeah, me and John's gonna have a hell of a party.
Oh yeah, we're a great party here. We're gonna stay
win or lose. We're gonna have fun. Cause why
Actually,
not?
We're not 6 feet apart now. Right?
I know.
This is not good.
I got a short tape. It's okay. I took my vaccines this morning.
Yeah, I think we have each other's bugs already.
Yeah. Yeah, we're good.
We were bitten by the Longhorn bug a long time.
So this is the 5th year for the sale, right? Oh,
7th year.
7th year.
You said
I'm at
5th?
7.
Well, your age, yeah. We're going backwards. I know. I get younger every year. I understand how that is. Yeah. But no, this is our 7th year. The 7th year of doing it. And it was a neat story how that started. I'm sure everybody's heard it by now. But, John went to the Hudson Valentine, and Joe convinced him that should have a sale.
Yeah.
And John thought it was a great idea when it started. When he came to me, it was more like, we're doing what? And how and what and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but
people always tell me Joe was such a crusty, tough little guy. He was always very nice to me. We were sitting there talking, and I said, I got this wacko notion. I'm just new at this, but I'd like to have a sale. He said, you can do it, and I'll help you. And he did. He really, really did. Amazingly so. And I probably without that push, we would have never gotten off the ground. Then I came and told Bubba, and he said, you're crazy.
I didn't say it in that word. I said,
no, he
what?
used different language. We'll clean it up there.
But no, I'm very happy that we're doing it now. It's getting easier and easier every year, except of course this year. Jamie can testify. I've been a little bit stressed out about it, but it's at this point we're gonna just take the ride. If the wheels fall off, we're gonna ride it to the bottom of the hill no matter what. So we're gonna let it rip and see what happens.
Well, I was just going to have you tell us a little bit about some of the new consigners.
Well, you're gonna put me on the spot on that. I know that there's Geens. They in the show world. Their kids are pretty much grown up, but they wanted to try it this year, so they're in sale. Let me think. We got 2 more that, like I said, they haven't done. Of course, Weirings. I mean, we've got the Wearing cattle that they consigned to sales, but they've never consigned to ours. But they're trying to disperse the herd, and we've had a lot of response about that. People wanting to buy some of those cattle. Let me think. Some new consigners.
Have they consigned before?
They've consigned before. We bought some of their cattle before, actually. They've consigned before with us. Let me think.
Is the gentleman that we did, I know he was a new sponsor this year. I don't know if he was a new consigner, Bubba. I had to get his information from you at one point. I can't think of his name right now.
Yeah, Troy Gandy,
Thank
Troy
you.
Hunger. His stepdad was Gandy. I used to take care of his ranch a few years ago, and Troy's taken that ranch over since then. So yeah, Troy's a new consigner. He's never consigned with us before. He's bought with us, but yeah, him and that who did you point out a little ago?
Okay.
No, Metz is not consigned with us, but everybody knows Dale Metz. You can hear him before you see him. HP Longhorns. I did not recognize that.
HB Longhorns, I think that isn't that Steve Hollywood?
Yes, Hollywood. They have never consigned with us before. So that's another one of the new consigners that we hadn't had. And of course, you know, it's bad times, but I mean, we're hoping to do good by them. I mean, that's our whole goal is to do good by the consigners and sell their cattle for good money.
So how many consignments will you end up with? I know you said a couple people, you know, backed out and stuff. So how many are there in the sale?
We're probably looking at about 80, maybe.
Okay.
Give or take. I mean, there's some still riding the fence that I haven't called back because I told them just think about it.
So who are some of the standout consignments?
I was looking at that when I looked at some of this stuff. There's some really flashy heifers. There's one that's I'm really liking. What was it, lot 4? Yeah, about the Larry and who's lot 4? Lot 4 was Stigmeyer. Yes, man, that's a very flashy heifer. She's sharp looking. She's got some good horn.
Larry and Tony did a good job.
They got a great looking heifer in there. And then in the cows sale on Saturday, Vigil, Boots, Dale, however you want to call him, Mike, MB Longhorns, he's got a great looking heifer. It's really, she's like I think a daughter of Casanova Magnum.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very nice looking heifer there. And I know Richard Carroll had a nice heifer, but he's riding the fence now whether he's going to let him sell it or not too. But they're black and white. Of course, I like black and white. They're speckled and pretty nice looking cows.
Mike Davis has a pretty nice one too. She just had a calf above the beast. And, she did pretty good.
And what lot is she, John?
Lot 23. It's a Houdini daughter.
I think Beaches is like a 3-1 now. I think's what he said just recently. But no, I mean there's some nice cows. I mean it's terrible that it seems like would have been our best sale yet with the quality of cattle we had, but it just sucks what's happening to everything right now.
We just really appreciate people going forward. You know,
people who are trusting us to go ahead and try and give it a shot.
Yeah,
and
I've been gratified how many people said, "Yeah, let's do it."
Yeah.
Love what you're hearing? Be sure to check out our Pickup Truck Confessions. It's a video series where we hop in the truck or rental car and interview a variety of breeders about what drives their passion for their livestock, how they got started in the breed of their choice, marketing tips, and more. And now, back to the podcast.
So for the consigners know this, but other people may not know this, is what we've done is we asked the consigners to send in an updated picture, a video of the animal, updated measurement, updated breeding, so that all of that as they send that in is being updated on Hired Him Live so that everybody can see that. So there will be at least one picture of the animal, and hopefully everyone can get us a video as well. So they'll be able to see the video of the animal out in the pasture and what they look like. One of the questions I had, Bubba, was about health papers. People wanted to know what to do about their health papers. So what suggestions do you have for that?
Okay, somebody might shoot me for this. The health papers in the state of Texas, Oklahoma, I'm thinking Kansas might be the same way. Brucellosis is free, which means we always get brucellosis tests just because somebody up north wants to buy your cattle. It just gives the cattle the option of getting sold back, and anybody can buy them and haul them. Because of the way the situation is, I've talked to some of the haulers. I mean, anybody I've talked to, anytime I've hauled cattle, I've never been stopped for having health papers and never red tagged us or anything. But if you have the health papers, don't worry about getting new ones because they're only good for 30 days. Talk to the haulers when we get to that point, and they may need to have a vet to sign off and extend those papers. The TB and stuff, like I said, most people OCV their cattle anyway, and it's fine. It's going to depend on the buyers and the sellers, and if it gets to a point where there's a question, then I guess they're going to have to handle it situation by situation, because I know a lot of people got their health papers. But if we hold these cattle for a week or two, those health papers are going to be out of date. And I think it's just talking to the haulers. Like I say, you know, a lot of people want to be covered in case they get stopped, but I have not talked to anybody anywhere and realized and they actually got stopped for the health papers.
So just to ask the question a different way, Bubba, I want to make sure. So the animals that are in the sale, they can sell to anywhere. Like there's any breeder, any buyer in any state can buy them. It just may be that after they buy them, we need to hold the animal a little bit longer or get a paper
And
renewed.
maybe
correct?
get a new renew. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're exactly right.
Okay.
She said that faster
And
than
if for
you did.
some
I know. I like to talk, John.
Well, and maybe one other thing to note too is that I believe all of the consigners in the sale are from Texas, with the exception of one in Oklahoma. So I don't know if that's helpful when people are buying, but I believe that's correct. So I think I was right when I looked at
That's
that the other
true.
day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hadn't thought about that, yeah. We thank you to all over the place for picking up the ball and running with us on this thing. We couldn't do this without you guys. So
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
we appreciate it very, very much.
One of the things Jamie and I was going to note too, just for listeners, is that we take credit card now through Hired Hand Live.
Oh, wow.
And so people that are bidding or buying, they can definitely pay that way as well. Right, Jamie?
Yeah, yep, they can definitely pay that way. There is a 3% processing fee that if they do decide to use their credit card, they are more than welcome to use the card that they have on file.
I think this is a great job. That is one handsome camera.
Yes, it is.
So we thank you.
And we had a lot of comments on that.
Yes.
A lot of people have said great
Good.
catalog.
Yes.
Well, thanks for always trusting us to be creative. I was trying to think when you said it was the 7th year for the sale, I was trying to think if we've done your catalog all 7 years or if
Yep.
this was, if we didn't do it the first year. I couldn't remember.
Nope, y'all did every one of them.
So during the sale, I'll be sure to mention all the haulers that are available. And the haulers are Wes, Ron, Tessa, and who am I missing?
It's who?
Wes, Ron, Tessa, and Chase.
Donnie.
Okay.
Chase Pursuit. It seems like Bernstall said he would haul too.
And then once the
think that
sale
was it.
concludes, Lori will send everybody an invoice, and then from there they can send in their payment to you all, or does it go to McCarty's? Okay.
No, it'll go to us because we still got some other
Okay.
stuff we got to do with different deals. The sponsors, we're going to get most of their money back too, just because we're trying to stay above water and then help everybody else out, because like I said, it is trying times, and what we'd like to see is if this is successful, maybe it's another avenue people can take, because there's going to be so many sales that need to be done and so many people stacking on top of each other. If they could do another one like this, and hell, it'd just be better for the whole industry to keep moving these cows around. So.
Bubba, do you want to go ahead and list your sponsors? I don't think we've done that yet. That way they get some credit on here.
Let's see. Our sponsors, there would be, oh, hell, let's see. It's written down from me. Okay, Brian Brett, the Brett Ranch. We got Lonesome Pines, John and Christy Randolph. We've got MB Longhorns, Mike Beach, Boots, however you want to call him. Unger Longhorns, Troy Unger, and Davis, LM Longhorns, Mike Davis. And those are our sponsors. And I mean, they're 100% on board with us.
Yes, they've been very supportive.
They're going to ride the ride with us as well. So.
And if someone didn't get a sale catalog in the mail, they can download a PDF of the catalog on your website and then also see all of the animals on Hired Hand Live. Because I'm assuming it's by the time this podcast airs, you guys won't be able to get anyone a catalog in time, I don't think.
Well, that'd work. A couple of people called me for a catalog and then emailed me the next day and said, "Hey, wait a minute, I found it online. I don't need it." So, that's a good thing too. So,
Anything else you guys want to share?
I'd say once again, thanks to everybody for the kind of
oh
support.
yeah,
We've had a really, I think, very positive reception, and I'm very appreciative.
Perfect. Well, maybe if you guys would be kind enough, you could do a podcast with us after the sale, and we could go over things that work, things that didn't,
That's a good
lessons
idea.
learned, all of those sorts of things. So if you're willing to get
Oh,
on
yes,
video.
Sure.
Well, thanks for trusting us and thanks for joining us today.
yes,
Well,
ma'am.
thank you.